Now there's the guy named Rito Ruvalcaba. Joppy said he doesn't study the tapes, yet he'll dictate the fight despite having never seen Ruvalcaba. Is he underestimating his opponent? We'll soon find out. Here's the #1 contender in his first world title shot, former Mexican champ. Unusually tall, as Bobby pointed out, for a Mexican-born fighter at 6'3", and tall for a middleweight at that. Turned pro with a loss, which he later avenged twice. And following that first loss, he won 14 in a row. His second loss, a 5th-round TKO to the tough Yuri Boy Campos. He's 13-0 since, with 12 knockouts, including a 2nd-round TKO over the aforementioned Peter Venancio, his lone common opponent with Joppy, who beat Venancio on points. Ferdy, seeing the obvious height and reach advantages, is his best bet to establish the jab, try to keep to the outside versus a tough inside fighter like Joppy?
No, he's got to be on the outside. If he gets on the inside, Joppy will break him in two. Guy looks like a basketball player. If he can take a punishment, the kind of punishment that Joppy administers to the midsection, if he can take that, he'll surprise me.
Yeah, Joppy says he doesn't train any differently for tall fighters. Just try to stay on the inside, do what he always does, get in and out fast with sharp combinations. All right, here is 2-time world champion William Joppy off the tougher than expected decision over relatively unknown Fernando Luis Zuniga, a last-minute replacement for Ruvalcaba, who had the bout with tonsillitis. Zuniga made Joppy earn his money that night under the Reed Trinidad card, but Joppy pretty much controlled throughout. Just didn't expect to go the distance with him. Joppy recaptured the title from Julio Cesar Green after losing a controversial decision, fighting one-handed most of the way, you recall, with a damaged right hand. In an unnecessary 3rd fight, Joppy stopped Green in the 7th. Says he's 100% since the fractured vertebra from the car accident that happened to his neck. And despite talking frequently about future opponents, Joppy says he's not taking Ruvalcaba lightly. Bobby, is he just too good and experienced for Mr. Ruvalcaba?
You know, Steve, on paper, Joppy certainly appears to be the talent. And although his experience in number of fights is very slim over that of Ruvalcaba, he has the quality in competition. His opposition has been much better. But styles make fights. Ruvalcaba stands 6'3", good power, and also good conditioning. If his chin holds up and he doesn't get broken in half to the body, I think he can make this a terrific war.
Well, nothing wrong with adding a W. I'm just not so sure what it means when it's over a Rito Ruvalcaba. All right, let's check the numbers, which actually favor the challenger. Ruvalcaba, 4 years younger than Joppy, the big 5-inch height advantage for Ruvalcaba. At yesterday's weigh-in, both below the 160 limit. But check out the fight time weights. Joppy 168, that's a plus 10 3/4, and Ruvalcaba 160, a plus 4 1/4, and a 4-inch reach advantage for Ruvalcaba. Key rules: no standing 8. The 3 knockdown rule is in effect. The fighter cannot be saved by the bell except in the final round. If an accidental butt occurs before the end of the 4th, it's a technical draw. If it happens after the end of round 4, they go to the cards. Well, after that first fight, what could happen next? Here at the Grand Casino Event Center in Tunica, we're getting ready for our main event, the WBA Middleweight Championship. Let's get the official introductions from our ring announcer, the classy Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to the Grand Casino in Tunica, Mississippi for our featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Don King Productions in association with Showtime Championship Boxing. This bout coming away is sanctioned by the World Boxing Association. The president, Gilberto Mendoza, supervisor in attendance, Alberto Samaniego, along with the Mississippi State Athletic Commission. The chairman is Billy Lyons, commissioner Fred Ingelis. Introducing to you our 3 judges scoring this bout from ringside. From Destrehan, Louisiana, Elmo Adolph. From Sackville, Nova Scotia, Canada, Hubert Earl. And from d'Iberville, Mississippi, David Taranto. Introducing to you our referee in charge, the 3rd man of the ring, working in this his 27th world title bout, Fred Steinwinder III. All right, fans, here we go with our main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBA Middleweight Championship of the World. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from the Grand Casino Tunica, it's showtime! Introducing to you first, ladies and gentlemen, the challenger on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks with white trim, fighting out of and representing Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico. His weight, 155 3/4 pounds, with a record of 27 wins, 2 losses. He has 24 big wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, he is making his first attempt at a world title, introducing the WBA #1 ranked middleweight contender. Here is Rito El Relámpago Ruvalcaba. And his opponent across the ring, the defending world champion on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing brown trunks with gold trim, fighting out of Seabrook, Maryland. He weighed in at 157 1/4 pounds. His record stands at 29 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, with 22 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the 2-time and current WBA middleweight champion of the world, introducing William Joppy. Once again, a referee in charge, Fred Steinwinder III, now to give instructions.
One corner, man. Y'all back up a little bit. Here you go, William. Here you go, Rito. Rito, he's a little bit high. Look, this is a championship fight. Look, this is a world championship fight. Y'all both act like world champions. The trunks is a little bit high. Listen to my commands at all times. Protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves. Come out, fight. Good luck.
William Joppy, a complete fighter. He can box inside and out. Usually starts out pretty fast, and he comes straight ahead. An excellent boxer with very, very fast hands and a quick, accurate jab. Watch out for the big, snappy right hand. That's his power punch. The thin, rangy Rito Ruvalcaba will look to utilize his big height and reach advantages, but he's more than willing to mix it up as well. Not overly fluid or quick, but improving and tough. Question is, does he have the experience to handle the slick, world-class Mr. Joppy? Joppy told us he'll stay on the inside against the 6'3" Ruvalcaba, jump in and out, use quick combinations, and the fight will not go 12.
There you saw Joppy jump in with a nice left hook, timed Ruvalcaba, but Ruvalcaba showing a reasonable chin. It wasn't a big hook, but it was a smart little stinger.
And Ruvalcaba said he wanted to start fast and take Joppy out before 4 rounds. Expects to establish the jab, uses range, fight aggressively from the outside.
See, as a shorter fighter, Joppy doesn't want to be being pushed back too often. Ruvalcaba, as a taller fighter, could get his leverage, maximize his leverage and his distance and range. If he's coming forward, going back, he'll lessen all his power. That's what Joppy needs to do. Back him up, work the body, back him up.
And on top of everything, Ruvalcaba hasn't fought in about 9 months because of the flu and tonsillitis. He's had to put off 3 fights. Says he's feeling 100% though for tonight.
Oh, nice right hand. It's got him in trouble already. Here's
beautiful right hand by Joppy, and there it is.
Ruvalcaba's in trouble.
Buckled in half.
Joppy looking to end it here.
Don't push him, William. Don't push him, William.
Joppy really loading up with that right.
Ruvalcaba's eyes are not right. I can see in his eyes. He's not clear-headed right now.
Step back, William.
He got clipped and everything short-circuited his body.
Oh, another heavy right hand by Joppy.
He is right on the edge of a cliff.
Let go.
He can't let go because he's going to get killed if he does.
Joppy looking for his 6th first-round knockout.
I'll tell you what, Ruvalcaba's in trouble right now.
Oh, man. Look at this. Ruvalcaba hanging on to Fred Steinwinder III.
Can't stand up. It's over.
It's all over here in the first round.
I told you, if he didn't have the chin to stand up to Joppy's right hand, maybe it's nothing. He has a lot of tools, but not the chin. You need to be durable at this level.
Boy, that chin was something else. That punch was a banger.
He's still not walking right, guys. He can't make it to the corner without help.
Well, he got banged real hard, not only once, but many times by that right hand. Joppy would not at all want to fight the second round. He just went in there for a first round knockout and got it.
William Joppy made his statement.
Well, we said he's the best middleweight going right now. I believe he is. I believe a fight with Keith Holmes is imperative. What he really needs is a defining fight. If he can get with Trinidad, that would be something.
Well, I think a fight with him and Joppy's even better still. Excuse me, not Joppy. Joppy and Bernard Hopkins. I think the executioner still got a couple of good days left for sure.
You know, I think you were saying in the conversation a minute ago, well, what, a year ago we were saying Hopkins was the best, and all of a sudden he disappears.
Well, he hasn't been as active.
Steve Albert's the name. Steve. That's all right, Gil.
I didn't make it all the way through.
Well, I asked Joppy what's Ruvalcaba's biggest fault that he'll capitalize on before the fight. He said signing the contract, and he was right. He was right.
I hate guys that can write comedy better than me.
Unbelievable. Well, I think it was, Bobby, you said that Joppy made a statement. He may have made a statement, but he beat Rito Ruvalcaba. Who is Rito Ruvalcaba? He's the #1 contender, but who is he?
Well, him being the #1 contender is obviously all relative. We talked about sanctioning bodies, promoters, agendas, and the mixing and matching of ratings in an arbitrary fashion, or at least what seems to be an arbitrary fashion.
Perhaps the word is preposterous that he's the #1 contender.
Ruvalcaba can punch, stopped Ruvalcaba in 5. We talked about that if he's got the chin, and he showed that he did not have the chin. See, Joppy works him behind a jab, and that clean right hand starts it. And there's another right hand. That little one off the top of the head wasn't the big one, but there's another one that almost bends him in half. He throws a really, there it is, almost bends him in half with it. And you can see that Ruvalcaba, on those long and thin legs, was very shaky. Again, that right hand just landing home. Legs are not under him. He's trying to hold on. Maybe Joppy getting a little too anxious there, but he has nothing to worry about. There's another big right hand. And the end of the fight is upon us. The right hand lands. He holds and he tries to hold hard. He really does not want to let go. And you'll see at the end when he gets hit with right hand, he winds up grabbing the referee and trying to climb up the referee to keep from hitting the floor. That landed flush on the forehead, and he's in trouble. That one on the jaw, and you can see now the ropes are holding him up. Now watch him hold up. See, he climbs up the referee to keep from hitting the floor face down, and he needed help there. Even he almost hits the ground again. As we look at it one more time, the ropes are holding him up here. That right hand was it. He goes through the ropes. Nothing. His head just ripping back there. There's nothing in his legs. Ropes holding him up. Referee saw enough. And I think clearly so. He can't stand here. He's literally leaning on the referee. And as time went by, he needed to be walked 2 or 3 minutes later to the corner by 2 men, Steve.
Yep.
He was out on his feet. Sometimes that long, lanky range does not make you a Bob Foster.
Yep. Joppy improves to 31-1 with 23 knockouts. And will boxing finally settle once for all the question, who is the best middleweight in the world today? Is it Joppy, Bernard Hopkins, Keith Holmes? Joppy makes it abundantly clear he wants WBC champ Keith Holmes, his arch rival from the Maryland area, or IBF champ Bernard Hopkins. He'll fight David Reed if he moves up to 160. The same goes for Felix Trinidad, he says.
Any of those fights, terrific fights.
Yep, they are career-defining fights. We're set to go up to the fight, Doctor. Freddie Pacheco.
They ain't never announced the winner yet.
We haven't announced the winner, but I'm reasonably sure that Joppy won the fight.
But I want him to.
Did you think it was going to be that fast? Man, you come out here like lightning.
No, I thought it was going to be a more difficult fight. They say this guy, he had the, the range, the height, and they say that a lot of power. So I was thinking to go 12 rounds.
You were thinking to go 12 rounds?
No, but I trained long for this fight. Since my last fight, March 3rd on Felix Trinidad fight, I trained long and hard for this. So, it paid off tonight, first round.
Now, coming out after seeing a good basketball game in the hallway, I said to you, that's a great basketball. And what did you say to me? You said, forget the basketball game. Who do you want to fight next?
Bernard Hopkins.
Yeah, right in the middle of that. I'm talking basketball. This guy said, forget that. I want to fight Bernard Hopkins.
Bernard Hopkins calling out Roy Jones, Oscar De La Hoya, and Fernando Vargas. It's not going to happen. Bernard Hopkins and William Joppy, that's the fight. Right. That's the fight. They say he's the best middleweight in the world. I want to see.
Is that possible?
It's possible, you know what I mean? Bernard wants to fight him because Joppy is one of the best in the world, and he's ready to take on anybody. And that's how you fight. That's how you make fights, by a guy saying he wants the best, and then they come out there and fight him.
Well, we've elected you as the best middleweight going, and for our Showtime crew, I think Keith would be a great fight for you. Bernard Hopkins would be a spectacular fight. So you got 2 good fights lined up for you, and a busy year ahead of you.
You just line them up, I knock them down.
That's good.